is not one of the countries on Premier Lee's visit this trip, but the relationship with China, of course, is valuable. China is Ecuador's biggest trading partner, and after a series of multi-billion-dollar loans, it's also the biggest creditor. Dan Collyns has more.
At the beginning of this year, China extended a $7.5 billion credit line to Ecuador. According to analysts, it was the latest in a series of loans estimated at more than $15 billion, aimed at stabilizing the country's economy through a drop in crude oil prices. China is now the biggest foreign financier in Ecuador, but President Correa told CCTV it was a relationship of equals.
It is South-South cooperation between emergent economies, between brother countries. So this will not be about imposing conditions, as was customary with the IMF or the World Bank, the foreign policy instruments of certain countries, the instruments of ideological dissemination of certain models.
Ecuador began borrowing from China in 2008 when the South American country defaulted on $3.2 billion of foreign debt. In return, China has claimed the lion's share of Ecuador's oil shipments under long-term contracts which provide upfront Chinese funding. Chinese investment is also moving into sectors from hydroelectric energy generation to telecommunications.
China has become a very important stakeholder for the Ecuadorian economy, not only because of funding, but only because of the Chinese firms building projects in the Ecuadorian economy. And that's part of the context of the international economy.
But critics say Ecuador's growing dependency on its Asian partner makes it less competitive.
China lends money to Ecuador. Ecuador builds projects, infrastructure, but a lot of those projects have to be with Chinese companies, of course. Also, we don't know what price is Ecuador selling oil to China at. We don't know whether it's competitive bidding.
CCTV made repeated interview requests with officials at the Chinese embassy in Quito, but without success. The Asian giant's move into large-scale mining in Ecuador's Amazon is proving controversial. The El Mirador mine, owned by Ecocorriente, a subsidiary of CRCC Tongguan Investment, could have devastating ecological consequences, say environmentalists. Here in the highland rainforest of the Cordillera del Condor, it's very wet. These mountains catch the clouds which supply the rivers in this whole region and even the mighty Amazon River itself. But this mountain behind me will be cut in half and transformed into an open-cast mine stretching more than 1 kilometre across. But as Ecuador seeks to overcome its current economic challenges, China's presence appears to be here to stay. Dan Collyns, CCTV, Ecuador.